Hello, and welcome back to The Philosopher and the Fool.
The Fool and the Philosopher.
Were we going to say something?
No? Go ahead.
Look at you breathing. So, I was just thinking that, just random thought. I don't know if there's anything to add to it, but the second most attractive thing is someone's ability to sing, I think. And the first one is how good they look.
What's the third?
Their hair, I think.
No, you know the fourth, not the third. That's maybe the fourth one, I think, is their hair. Although the hair could be, put into how they look.
Well, sometimes, no, I don't think so, because hair's pretty variable. It's almost like clothing. There's people that keep their hair really consistent, not me.
And then there's people that just let their hair just slowly grow out into a long, Snape, tangled mess. I do not look like Snape.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if this is the place for it, but I'm going to do it anyways. I was going to suggest you change the thumbnail of your Me, Myself, and I video, because it freaks me out whenever I look at it.
Why? I like it.
It's just kind of not a very flattering picture, and it's kind of... The lighting's all weird.
The video is not very flattering to myself.
Oh, I didn't watch it, because the thumbnail freaked me out.
Yeah, no, the video is not very flattering.
Well, maybe we should get rid of it. You shouldn't be... in the very first podcast, I said, don't get down on yourself.
It's not getting down on myself.
Don't get down on yourself, baby. If you do, I think that, baby, you'll just lay you down and cry for a million years. Don't get hard out on my honey. Take my heart, my soul, my body, and get yourself a haircut with these shears.
You're one to talk. I think your hair looks more horrid than mine at the moment.
Yeah.
You're developing a mullet.
Yeah.
Except it's weird. It's a blonde mullet.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of mullet, so I was...
Bullet. It's a bullet.
Yes.
Call me Bullet Bill.
I was downtown yesterday.
Yeah.
And I saw this guy...
Crazy Connor.
With the most amazing mullet.
Oh, yeah?
So, the front's very respectable looking,
mm-hmm.
and then his mullet went down to his shoulders, his back hair, and his brown hair, and he also had this goatee.
Mine almost goes to my shoulders. Actually, it does, look. Just a little bit of it does.
Yeah, but you could, I don't know, that's the sort of person I imagine is a super redneck, except I know him, and he isn't, and so it's weird.
I don't look so much like a redneck, I just get stopped in airports all the time and searched.
Yeah, you look like a drug dealer.
I'm really slow to travel with.
Yeah. No, you have this vibe where, the security guards learn to detect vibes. And so when they see a tall-ish or medium-height blonde person...
I'm not tall in the slightest.
Okay. When they see a medium-height, average blonde person with glasses, they just, immediately, radar, just ping.
Yeah, it's those blonde, medium-haired glasses people, they're always terrorists.
Yeah. Or maybe they just want to make sure you're not
I am the only non-blonde terrorist. Not terrorist, blonde person who isn't a terrorist. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I get signal... I think it's because...
Maybe it's just the way you move or look or breathe.
I think it's because...
Or your shirt choice.
So I was watching...
wear small shirts. Me, I wear big shirts. Shirts are too big for me. You wear, small shirts.
Well, I was thinking... I watched this video, right, where this guy was complaining, or not complaining, he was giving a person advice on what to wear for, a job interview. Because he was saying the guy had done it wrong. Because the guy was wearing a suit. And he said, you have to wear a fitted suit, not just a suit. Now, for me, if I put on a rumpled dress shirt, I feel pretty fancily dressed.
Yeah.
So I think part of it is how I dress. And also I think that's, American culture more than here. Or big city culture, maybe.
Yeah.
And so
or just corporate culture, actually.
Yeah. My clothes normally contain holes. And they're normally free clothes I got from my kids' camp. And I don't get haircuts too often, so my hair kind of just grows out randomly. And I only shave twice a week, and my facial hair grows fairly fast, and when I forget, I just don't do it until the next time for my shaving. Tuesdays and Fridays. I'm not insane, I have a schedule. It's fine. So I got facial hair all the time that sort of looks scruffy.
Yeah.
And that maybe you can't see my eyes because of my glasses. So I could see.
Yeah,
how
well,
I
you got
look.
them thin glasses. All the hipsters these days have the big glasses. You got them thin, skinny glasses.
That's because I'm a hipster's hipster.
Yeah, hipsters took all the fun out of irony.
Yeah. But I'm putting it back in by being ironically ironic.
I don't think that works. I think you just create a black hole of despair.
No. Well, it'll work. I'll bring it back. Yeah, let's... Glasses, airports, facial hair, stand... Oh yeah, I think also, like, I'm either, like... What do you call... It's like dysthymia, but slightly different. Like...
Dyslexia?
No, it's like... Because dysthymia is, like, constant mild depression. But I want, like, constant mild bipolar disorder. I'm not... Because I think
everyone has that.
Yeah. But...
Maybe.
Like, I find I'm either, like, down or, like, hyper, almost. So maybe I look kind of... In airports, I'm never, like... I'm like... I'm going through a security scan! Woo!
Or you look like you're...
Or I'm like... here I go to hijack another plane.
Life
another
is
day,
nothing but
another
an
plane.
Endless monotony of human suffering and
Plane
misery.
hijack. Do you think, like, airports listen to podcasts and then don't let you on?
No.
Because I've never done anything bad. I don't think I've even ever broken an airplane rule.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you brought bullets to an airport once.
I didn't bring bullets. I brought the bullet casings. I had a pair of pants. When I was younger, I'd have clothing that had different collections in it. And one of those collections in a pair of pants was a bunch of bullet casings. And they wouldn't let me keep my collection. And they wouldn't even hold it for me. I was really upset. I had, like, I don't know, 10 shotgun shells in there and about, shotgun casings and another, like, 30 just normal metal bullet casings. And
yeah,
they weren't live or anything.
Because you're lucky you were young.
Yeah. Anything in your pockets? Just these bullet casings.
You're like, nope, not the thing. Oh, wait, I got some bullet casings. And then, they're like, anything metal? And he's like, no, just bullet casings.
Yeah. They didn't count. Actually, now that I think about it, though, those shotgun casings were live shotgun casings that I had.
Yikes.
They didn't have anything in them, but those are the casings which you slam it, you like shove a slug in there, then you hit the thing, and then it explodes and causes force. I realize that now. Oh. So those are live shotgun casings in my pocket.
Yeah. You know, okay, one time I did drink half a liter of water in front of a security agent, but, I mean, that's
nothing. I've seen our dad go over to the counter of bottled drinks that people had to leave behind, pop them open, and chug them.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they're things...
Like sealed ones?
Yeah, sealed ones.
Okay.
Yeah, sealed ones. Yeah, he's just like...
I know for a fact he once legally brought a weapon on a plane, because apparently you're allowed to bring whips on plane. I don't know if that's true anymore, but he did that once. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. So you are, like, 2 years old. 3 years old when this... During 9/11... when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
But when I flew on planes when I was little, they used to ask if I wanted to go up to the front of the plane and, like, with the captain.
Yeah.
And, like, they'd give me a sticker book and I could go up to the front with them and stuff. You might have done it, actually. I'm not sure. You would have been really young,
I did it once.
Because...
Although I'm going to say I did it once, but I'm not going to claim to have any memory because I probably just created the memory of doing it.
I think... Okay, I could be wrong because I would be fairly young. But if I recall correctly, they asked me if I wanted to go, and like every other time, I said no. I've never actually been to the front. I turned down every time. And then for some reason it was like, but, you know, my little brother can. And then you went up... for like a brief second, got scared and came back, I think. If I recall correctly, but that could be totally wrong. It's been a long time.
Yeah, well, that sounds accurate. Me getting scared and trying to coerce you into going with me.
You used to bring like chess on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made me jump off a cliff. We talked about that, right?
Maybe. We briefly discussed it.
Okay, I've dropped off a cliff twice for you.
Once?
No, twice.
When was the other time?
Okay, so, story for the people that don't know, because I'm sure most will know this story, but, you know, for the few that don't, that are strangers that are listening on the internet. So, first time we were in Hawaii, having a great time, and we went to South Point in Hawaii, which is a giant cliff, you can look at the ocean, and a bunch of people were jumping off the edge. I read that it's like 50 or 40 feet, and then my mom said it's like 10 feet.
It's not 10 feet.
Or like 20 feet. She doesn't think it's that tall, but
the
tour book said it was really tall.
It is tall.
Tour book said it was tall. Maybe the tide was in when she was there.
Yeah.
It's tall. Like, I had enough time to regret my decision when I jumped off.
Well, falling, you're like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Well,
falling there like, I think this was an unwise idea. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Oh well.
No,
sploosh.
no, it was pretty quick. But I had like a split second of like...
Well, you
and
always
I belly flopped too.
Oh, you belly flopped?
Yeah.
Ow.
And then I went deep in the water. Good thing I belly flopped, because it's actually hard to know which way's up.
Yeah.
So I was sort of like, oh, which way's up? And then I was kind of hurt because I belly flopped.
Yeah.
And it's... So you know when you like fall in the river from a canoe or something, and you're like, you got your life jacket? You know, it's a lot harder to swim without a life jacket. Like, you don't get that from pools, but get dropped in the middle of the ocean without a life jacket, and all of a sudden you'll be like, swimming's hard.
Yeah.
So I was injured because I had just fallen, and I couldn't breathe properly I still feel a pain in my chest. I don't know if that's related or not, but I feel like I can't take full breaths anymore since Hawaii, which was when I was 14. So
you were 14?
Yeah, 10 years almost.
You should get that checked out.
I took a breathing test once, and it said that I breathe better than most people. So maybe maybe once I could breathe amazingly well.
Or maybe it's just all mental.
Maybe. Anyways, so I splatted my entrails across the ocean in a thin film, and then I pulled myself together, and then you had to climb a rope to get to the ladder.
And it has a rope ladder.
Then there's a rope ladder, and then you had to climb that to a rusty ladder, and then you're like 500 feet above the ground, which is water, and you're climbing up injured and tired and exhausted, and then I was like trying to get up as fast as possible to tell Connor not to jump, because what happened was I didn't want to jump, no sane person wanted to jump, my dad didn't want to jump, and Connor really wanted to jump, but he was scared, so he wanted me to go first to make him less scared. So I jumped, and I'm kind of glad I did, so Connor didn't, because I don't know how a 10-year-old would have done.
Yeah.
I wonder if Dad would have let you.
Probably. Cause he was going to let me, honestly. Like, I was about to do a romp, and I stopped.
Or maybe we were a bit older. Was I 16 instead, maybe?
You were not 16.
Yeah, maybe I was 14. It just...
I feel like you were younger than 14, even.
No, I think I would have been 14 or older. Let's see, when I got... Okay. Oh, wait, no. I dislocated my shoulder when I was 14.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have been younger?
Yeah, no, we were much younger.
Then you wouldn't have...
Yeah, no, I
don't know. Maybe it was the year before.
Yeah. No, we were young.
It just seems mad that...
Yeah.
Well, I guess, like, you could swim.
Yeah.
But it's where you go so deep. That's why they teach you this. Well, they don't teach you the shallow diving for that reason. But yeah, like you can go so deep, it's hard to know which way is up. So it's not like an adult. I think will be okay because it's not like it's only 40 feet, but still, it's kind of worrying.
Yeah, no, I've gone that whole thing where you jump off even a diving board in a pool that's like 8 feet deep, or deeper than 8 feet. What is the pool? 20 feet deep?
15, I think.
Okay, jump in 15 feet pool, and you go down, and then you're like swimming up, and you realize you hit the water, and you sort of like shoot down, go at that sort of sideways banana angle, like you sort of banana, and you're like swimming up, and you're like open your eyes, and there's chlorine. It's like, oh drat, I'm swimming sideways.
The one I hate is when I'd go to the bottom of the pool, and then I'd swim up, like I knew which way was up. And I'd swim up and up and up, and it took a while. I started running out of breath.
Yeah, you're like reaching for the air. You're like,
why is the water so high up?
You're reaching your arm up, trying to grab the light.
Yeah, because you can walk 15 feet in no time, but swimming takes like a while.
Yeah.
When you
also, once you go down far enough, your buoyancy and that you hold doesn't matter anymore because water pressure overrides that.
Well, I was held back in swim class, so maybe I'm bad.
So was I.
I was held back because I started when I was young, though, I think.
I was held back because I couldn't hold my breath.
I kind of panic in water. I don't like water. Right. So the second time I jumped off a cliff was a lot better because there was no water at the bottom. It was just like rocks and gravel.
Wait, what? When was this?
So what had happened was we had a lovely family outing to a place called Golden Canyon. And we had... I think I've talked about this slightly before, possibly.
No, I don't think you have.
Okay. Anyways, we'd all gone out, and Connor got tired and whined and was wimpy and annoying, and so we abandoned him in the middle of the wilderness and kept going. Or no, he got tired, so we left him at like a campsite, and we kept going, and because it was about like he was like a third of the way in, we went the remaining 2/3. Then we climbed up the canyon, and then our stepsister and her friend got lost. sort of. And so then my mom went looking for them, and then we heard Connor shouting, and we're like, what's going on? And so I was at the top of the cliff now, running around, because it was like a crevasse between two cliffs. So Connor,
a gully.
Yeah. So Connor had decided, well, this is boring, and they're taking a long time, so I'm going to go look for them. So he left the campsite where we knew where he was, and then he got lost and is scared because he couldn't find anyone. And so I started running along the cliff edge looking for him, and then I saw him, and I was calling to him, and he didn't notice me. So and he was like terrified and like stumbling around. So I grabbed a poplar tree and jumped off the cliff and bent the poplar tree down, and then landed on the ground and let go of it because I grabbed the top. And
I did see that. It was pretty cool.
I jumped down and slid down and let go. And like I'd slid along the edge of the cliff too, so I wasn't just totally tree. And let go.
Pretty cool though. It's like a Jackie Chan sort of move.
Yeah. It must have been like a less steep area or something, or I was just in a weird panic haze or something. I don't know. But yeah, then we found him. So jumped off a cliff twice at least.
Yeah.
Well, I've jumped off cliffs before, other cliffs, but not for you. One time it was during a boat trip, and I was on this cliff, and I was like, I could run down this cliff.
Oh, dear.
And I did, and it felt really cool. And when you run down a cliff, it feels like you're running really fast.
But you're falling.
But then when I hit the ground, it wasn't like running, because suddenly I hit I was like running. Vertical. So I was running vertical, and then the ground horizontal, and I was like, well, it's just like running fast. That's fine. Speed's okay. But there's also, you weigh an amount.
Yeah.
So when my ankle went, so I stepped forward to land on the horizontal part of the ground, and I sprained my ankle, because it was...
Yeah.
But it felt really normal, and to just run down a cliff. It's like, oh, I'm light and free.
Yeah, no, you need decreasing angle.
How old was I? I was 15 when I did that. I was a lot wiser then.
To be fair, you seem to talk with some venom towards certain things I have done when I was younger. Now, to be fair, you're 4 years older than me-ish.
Yeah.
And when you're young, that's a huge difference. Like, in ability. Yeah. And I feel like you were probably always trying to, keep up with other people, and they're, setting their level to your amount of ability. Mm-hmm. And so I had to keep up with your max ability while they were setting it to your max ability.
You also whine more, though, than I ever did.
So. Yeah, that's because... I've thought about this, and that's because I was trying to keep up with you, because everyone's like, oh yeah, we'll set it to Cameron's level, and then so I had to always try to keep up.
Oh sure, they would set it to the older siblings level, not the younger. Well, it's always doting on the younger sibling. You watched Lord of the Rings when you were 11. I wasn't allowed to watch it till I was 25. I still haven't seen it.
That's because I actively searched to watch it.
And you got a phone before I did, and you were allowed...
I didn't.
Yeah.
When did you get your phone?
When I was 20.
Yeah.
You're not even 20, and you've had a phone for a year.
Yeah, I didn't want the phone.
And you got laptop before I did, and you
No, I didn't.
Got a super... Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I got a laptop when I was 18.
Yeah, I got mine when I was 19.
This year? You're 19 now.
Okay, I got mine when I was 18.
Yeah.
Well, technically 17, but it was a birthday present.
Yeah.
It's an early birthday present.
Yeah, and yeah, you got a younger brother getting everying first.
That's because they test things
all the permission.
on you.
I had to go to bed at 6 when I was your age. Okay, when I was a bit young. But I remember you always went to bed at the same time as me instead of when I had to go to bed when I was your age.
Yeah, that's because they figured things out more. You're like the test subject.
Yeah, and it broke me with their stupid bedtimes and you see no laptops.
You are listening to The Fool and the Philosopher.
Okay, so this is interesting. When I was little, right, and I never owned Pokemon, so I made Pokemon, on paper,
yeah,
and I would play it using the guidebooks, and I always thought, wow, if I had a computer, I could, paint shop, whatever, I could do this way easier, and I made board games, I read stories, if I could type, this would be way faster, and so I did this insanely difficult creative stuff, and I was like, if I had a computer or something, I could, I would just be a god, I could make everything. I didn't think it exactly like that. Now I have a computer, I'm less creative, so I think either I was lying to myself,
You're lying to yourself.
Or making things easier means that you don't try as hard.
Maybe. Also, that sounds kind of sad, the whole Pokemon thing. Because, I mean, Pokemon's a terribly slow game to begin with. Like, that's one of its faults. It's really slow already, and then you're doing that on pencil and paper.
Yeah, but you played too. I would be like the DM almost for you sometimes.
Yeah, no. That was fun when we played.
Yeah.
We'd make Pokemon.
Because our mom did belly dancing, so we would just sit outside the studio and
draw.
And
we'd
with our
wait
Pokemon
in the
guide.
airports and draw, and we'd be at our grandparents' house and draw, and we'd be at different grandparents' house and we'd draw.
Yeah.
And maybe we came up with some cool games, which now I think about them, I don't want to play them ever again.
I like them.
Yeah, I like them, but
like
that health system thing I came up with,
that was a bit...
That was inspired by Sabriel. It's a bit grim.
Yeah. But the, like just like the circles with the dots in them?
The circles. That system where you draw a circle and then you turn it into 4 independent circles.
Yeah. And
then you would fill them in. That'd be like health.
Yeah. How's that dark?
Not dark. I mean the game we actually played with like the necromancers murdering villagers and stuff.
I would play that if that was a video game. That was cool.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking actually it'd be really cool as like an MMO sort of thing where you keep it to stick figures and stuff.
Yeah.
And players can contribute content and you can have a filter like I will play with all content that has more than 1,000 likes. Or I will play with all content. I'll play with more content with 10 likes. So content slowly gets filtered into the game. And so you can like... Because we kept adding stuff like new spells and we would like trade with each other.
Yeah. Like use each other's ideas.
Yeah, so I think that'd be cool actually.
Yeah.
As like a MMO sort of thing where you could add to the game. I'd like to see that someday. Like someone do something like that.
You're right. I would play that as a computer game as well.
Yeah.
There's no Necromancer computer games out there.
And the other one I would play, which I quite liked, there's one called Right Click to Necromance or something, which is okay, but it's very limited.
Yeah.
And basically, whenever you kill something, you can res it, and you just get this bigger and bigger ball of like dancing men, which is kind of fun. But
yeah.
But there's another game we did was we had a little. It was like Indiana Jones, and so I don't know how you do it because the only way it worked was Connor didn't know it had hidden information.
Yeah.
So it would have to be randomized or something.
Yeah.
With tons of content so that you would never see the same thing twice. Because basically what would happen is I'd make a course for Connor, and then I'd plot it out to be possible, and then I would make it like 3 times easier or whatever than he needed to be. So it was super easy for me with all the information.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't tell anything to Connor, so then...
And I get to select different adventures with different items.
So Connor couldn't actually control anything. He could only send people out. And so he could send out like Indiana Jones, and if Indiana Jones walked out and he came, so let's say, and then he would basically just walk along. So I'd be like do 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 do, and then there'd be like a cliff or a tunnel, and then he'd fall in it. So kind of like Lemmings, I guess. Yeah. In that respect, except you could choose which powers you sent out at the time. And then
so Indiana Jones could whip onto little things and swing across.
Yeah. So there was like torch brackets that Indiana Jones could swing on. And
you could leave him there to swing people across.
Yeah, so if you put him out, he would like make a transfer thing. So if you left him there, he could because there'd be something like a rock wall in the way, and then the strong man could break it.
Yeah.
And then there was a baby, which you could use to test traps.
Yeah, you'd send the baby forward and just crawl into things, or you could like send the baby forward to walk into the spike trap, and the spike trap would only arm once.
Yeah,
and so the baby would.
Or there'd be like you'd be like, "What's that statue do?" So you'd send a baby in front because because they all cost different amounts of money. Yeah. So the baby cost only 1 gold. So you didn't want to lose your Indiana Jones who cost like 50 gold to the statue. So you'd put the baby out, and sometimes they had like a weight. So like. The baby wouldn't actually... No, I think the baby always triggered it, but the sheep wouldn't always trigger it.
Yeah.
So you could send a sheep, which was even cheaper. But... So maybe the baby was like 5 gold and the sheep was 1 gold. But the sheep wasn't 100% information.
Yeah.
And the baby was 100% information, but it was more expensive. And it was a baby.
Yes, there's a moral expense of killing a baby. Yeah. Another game that I thought existed that we made on paper, but didn't, was we had like a paper version of Spore.
Yeah.
That you came up with.
Oh yeah. What do you mean that existed?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like as an actual computer game, like it sort of existed, but not really.
Oh, where you like a 2-dimensional sort of involved technology. And...
Yeah, it's a 2-dimensional. Well, So there's the two things. So
like Pocket God is sort of
Well, we made the one. We
God.
made the sort of Pocket God thing, which was a village that evolved technology.
Yeah.
And Cameron liked that idea a bunch, and so he made a thing where you had basically like a single cell organism slowly evolving and trying to do its best, and then he'd like make 3 of them, and they'd evolve across the island and slowly attack each other.
Yeah, and then there was the Everything Man, which I think it's kind of like Scribble Knots almost. Yeah. But basically, you draw like a super detailed stick figure scene.
Yeah.
And you put 2-dimensional side view, like no, not isometric, the other one, platformer type of view, whatever that is. And then you draw a stick man, and that's Everything Man, and he can just grab everything in the world and then take it apart into straight lines and circles and rebuild them, and then that creates a thing. So if you took like a fish's back end and like a stick figure, you can make like a mermaid. Or you could take rip a guy's arms off and one of his legs and make a sword from the cross.
Yeah. Or you could take a fish's tail off and take a stick man apart and turn it into a rocket if you killed 2 more fish. Yeah.
And you could also do stuff like you could blow up an area. And
that's what I thought Scribble Knots was, actually. I thought it was Everything Man.
You could so you might, let's say, blow up a tree, so then you can use the broken tree bits as like a saw.
Yeah, because there would be the chunks out of it and stuff.
And that was, I don't know how you'd make a game like that, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, that was a fun game. That was a fun little game.
And then, let's see.
And then, I don't know, we've always been, more Cameron than me, but he's always been attracted to games where there's like very much world affecting.
Yes.
Like Grandpa's Big and Little Leftovers or whatnot.
Yeah, Little and Big Grandpa's Leftovers.
Yeah.
Where you can like change the world.
Like cut pieces out of it, basically.
I've always really liked
terraforming and...
Well, not exactly. It's more, I want to say scars. That's not quite the right thing, but where you leave a notable impact in the world that lasts forever.
Yeah.
So, and I also like that in D&D. That's why I like scars and injury systems so much. It's not because I like the injuries. It's because I like...
the story that's left behind?
Yeah, like if you have a D&D character... Let's say you've been doing a D&D campaign for 2 years.
Yeah.
And your character is like level 16 or something.
Yeah. Or level 4.
Yeah.
You've only been doing D&D for 2 years, Karen. You're level 4. This isn't Pathfinder. It's D&D. You're level 4.
2 years, you'd be like level 12 at least.
At least, no. I'd say level 12 at most. You might be level 8 if you're lucky and have a nice DM.
Come on, like, what level are you in Baldur's Gate 2? You're like level 14 or something.
Yeah. That's because
the
fighting's much quicker in Baldur's Gate than D&D.
Because you start at level 9, and I leveled up like 5 times, I think.
Yeah.
In like, just like, a while. But yeah, anyways. So you have all this gear and stuff, but by that point, you've gotten like the poison dagger, and then you sold it, and you got the fire dagger, and you might not even remember the poison dagger anymore, because that was in the past. So that's why in my RPG system, if you get a cut, you get a scar, and it lasts forever. Because that way you can look at your character at any point and be like, how did I get that scar? Oh yeah, this thing. Yeah. Like when he started his campaign.
He got his arm cut off by a peasant woman.
That was amazing.
Yes. So the world game changed. Actually, have you seen anything about Cyberpunk video game?
Like Cyberpunk 2020 or whatever?
Yeah.
No.
Or any footage?
I've seen like the trailer and it looks nice. So, but I think I heard a review or something. Is it out?
It's not out. It's not going to be out for a while.
Okay, because maybe it was a review of the previous games that they're not that interesting or something. But that's hearsay. I have no clue.
So,
like, not interesting to me. I'm not saying they're not interesting. They're very popular.
Yeah. I mean, you probably won't be interested in it in some regards.
Yeah.
Because it's a game definitely based around guns.
Yeah.
But I watched a bit of the trailer of the game. There's like this 4-minute release. And then I stopped watching it because I don't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah.
But there's this scene where there's like a shootout in a building.
Yeah.
And the characters are shooting holes through the walls of the building, like breaking holes. And then like person shot the wall a bunch.
Yeah.
And then charge through it. So they bash their shoulder through and the wall explode outwards. And there's like stuff like that in the game. That looks really cool.
I wonder if that's a scripted event or not. That would be my concern.
I think all walls are damageable.
Battlefield 4's big selling feature was everything's destructible or something, which I thought was amazing. I was like, that sounds like the best first-person shooter ever. But
it wasn't.
I never played it, but Calden played it, and he said it was okay, but not amazing.
Yeah.
But like what I remember, first game that I really had an experience with like destructibility was Ratchet and Clank. I think it might have been the Up Your Arsenal one. I don't remember, but it was the one for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Or they might have several on PlayStation 2. I can't remember. But there's a level. It's like this ice level with a big bridge across it. Yeah. And I was shooting at my friend Martin running across the bridge. Yeah. And the bridge blew up. And I was like, what? You can blow up? This game's incredible. And it was like the best first-person shooter. Oh, third-person shooter, I guess it is. Yeah. But it was my favorite shooter game ever because not only was a very small amount of the terrain destructible, but it blew my mind. Your gun's all upgraded, which I loved. But only in a single player, but still. Yeah. But also, you didn't have a mini-map, and your characters didn't have an icon over them. Yeah. So Martin loved to play as the snowman, and then he would stand in a group of snowmen, and then you just walk past him. And,
oh, that's great.
Yeah. Or like I would be sniping Martin, and he was off in like this sunny villa as the snowman, and he had like the super jump boost of some sort. So he would jump, and I'd see this tiny little snowman figure pop up, but it wasn't like in Halo where you see this like targeting reticule. Yeah. Because Halo is probably my favorite first-person shooter. Yeah. I'm not really into first-person shooters, but Halo's probably my favorite. Yeah. But it's so easy to shoot at people in Halo, almost. Yeah. Like, I suck at Halo, but you know where Okay, that said, I played Halo recently with my friends, and I could not... there was 4 people on a small map. I could not find everyone. I kept getting shot in the back, so I'm not good at it, but I do like the... because I think it's because I can't use radars, though. I don't... Yeah. I'm bad at, like... when I play Assassin's Creed, I can't read the little mini-map. Yeah. I don't like... No.
I have fond memories of Halo. Yeah. Playing against some people, and just sitting in a little hidey hole with the Spartan laser... Yeah. And just like, what's that faint red line? And then the giant laser slams into them, and just doing that over and over again, and sitting your invisibility power up. Oh, that's how I would play Halo. That's how I used to play Halo. But then I wasn't as good at it, and I can't aim with a controller, so I just run around hitting the melee button.
You're that guy. You're like. Whenever people play online games, you're that guy. Like, you're the guy that runs away in Smash Bros. You hide in Halo with invisibility.
No, in Halo, I now run around and hit people in the back of the head with the shotgun.
And I had a third one. I don't believe this. Oh, man. Oh.
What was the thing in Ratchet and Clank that you liked about the other third thing in Ratchet and Clank you really liked?
No, I said them all. Okay. I'm fine with Ratchet and Clank. I also like running around, like capturing bases so you can get turrets. That was fun.
Yeah, that's fun. Also, just having a Clank on your back and jumping, having his little helicopter pop out.
Yeah, it's a good game. I like it. I'd like to see, maybe not. I don't know. Would I like to see a new one? I don't know. Maybe it should stay buried.
Yes. Maybe it should be buried in fondness and memory. Yeah. I remember in school...
There's too many games. I don't think we should make more.
I
think we should stop making games.
In school, we had this thing where someone figured out how to download Halo 1. Yeah. And so every single computer in the computer lab would have a download of Halo 1. And we'd all like play online LAN maps. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun until they stopped it. But I remember getting so good at mouse and keyboard first-person shooter. And it got to the point where it's like just always using the pistol, because that thing's overpowered, and people didn't realize how strong the thing was. Yeah. And sticky grenades, and just becoming a master of sticky grenades, and people like, what's that? And you jump over them and drop the sticky grenade on them.
They had sticky grenades in Halo 1?
Yep, it was. We had a modded Halo 1.
Oh.
So we do.
I don't know if they were things.
Yeah, but I think they did.
Okay.
They were the alien grenade.
Yeah. I just didn't think the aliens were, like, you didn't get their technology in the first
one. No, you do.
I've never played Halo 1.
You also got the splinter gun, which was really ridiculous in Halo 1.
It sucks in the later.
It is so...
Well, it's like, I've heard people say they like it. I don't like it.
It's seeking. It's a seeking pistol. That's rapid fire.
Does it seek?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the quills seek. And they have really good seeking.
I've never noticed.
Yeah, no, maybe they got rid of that in the later games. But number 1, that thing was garbage to fight against. I hated when people had it's like, oh, person's got the quill gun, alright, all the snipers aim at them.
Yeah.
We'd have pretty big maps, because it'd be like all the kids, a computer lab full of kids playing first-person shooter.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, then they shut it down.
That's my problem with games like Dota and League of Legends, where you need like 10 friends to play them. That's a lot of people to organize it.
No, you just need 5 friends to play with. Then you can beat some random group of people.
I don't like that, because then your losses feel like you're actually... It feels like more of a... I don't know. It doesn't feel like you're trying to have fun at that point, almost. Like, I guess, if you do some pickup basketball with some people you don't know, I guess that's kind of fun. Yeah. So, I guess it could be fun, but...
It's the ultimate pickup sport.
Yeah. I guess it depends who you play against. I'd rather play with friends. And also 5 friends to get together is kind of tricky.
Yeah, we manage 5 people. Although it's like all people we've met through the game of Dota.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Although we have 3 people all the time.
Yeah. There's those big games that are just... Like, Captain Sonar is a board game I really want to play. But it's an 8-player board game.
Ooh.
And it's like, how are you going to get to play it?
And it's an intense 8-player board game?
No, it's...
Okay.
It's not... Well, it's real time, so there's that intensity.
Okay.
But you'd have to... The problem is with 8 people, you have to teach a new person every game.
Yeah. Well, the thing about like some games is like, all right, this game's 8 players. That's like fun, quick party game. Yeah. This game's 8 players, and it's harder than Risk to learn. And it's like
harder than Risk, the hardest game to learn.
Well, Risk has some complications.
Yeah. But like Twilight Imperium or something where it's like really long and hard.
And then there's a lot of players, and people are just going to lose investment. Like you're going to have the 2 people who kind of sit there and drool.
I think that's why War of the Ring is my favorite board game. It's like...
It's 2-player?
It's 2-player. And it's like... It's a fun 2-player. Not many 2-player games are that fun, I find.
Yeah, well...
War of the Ring's good. War of the Ring's really good.
Well, see, 2-player has a thing, which is if one person's winning, the other person's losing. Yeah. In a 3-player game, one person's winning, 2 people are losing. Those 2 people go, hey, stop winning. And then the third person goes, oh, drat. And they have been ganged up by the 2 people, and then one of the other people tries to snatch victory. Or a person's like, ha, I'm fighting off 2 people at once. I'm amazing! Yeah. Instead of going, oh, there's one weak little scrub I can just, like, pull off. Like, know the whole thing of, like, a little kid's trying to punch you, you just reach out your arm and put against their forehead, and they're swinging at you? Yeah. I was the little kid that if you did that to, I would jump up, wrap my legs around your arm and my hands, so I'd flip myself upside down, but then I'd become a dead weight attached to your arm.
And you were invisible in Halo. All the worst. That wasn't the thing, but... Yeah.
No, I remember in wrestling that I'd always try to wrestle the older kids. And my strategy literally to wrestling, it was kind of brutal, it only worked once, is I would jump at them and try to grab them high and, like, overweight them. And I did one time to someone who was taller than me, even though they're shorter than me now. But I jumped up, hit them high, and just kept the weight, and they fell and slammed into the map.
Hit them so hard they're short now.
Yes, and they got winded.
You're listening to the Fool and Philosopher.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, like there's too many video games. And
I disagree.
Well, here's the thing. I saw 2 videos on YouTube, and now...
you disagree?
No, and now I am cemented in this belief that the world is entering a crisis. Because I saw 2 people say something that I didn't like, and that is representative of 100% of the population, I think. So, the first video... The second one was a bit better, but the first video was by these guys called Beefy Smash Dudes, who... I kind of like their channel. They're a bit too competitive in Smash Brothers. They're not like they're really good sports, but when they were watching like the reveal trailers for characters for Smash Ultimate, they were like, "What's the competitive impact of this?" And I was like, "That's a bit too much for me."
Yeah, but whenever I try to like come up with an idea for a Dota hero, and I tell it to my 2 friends who are kind of competitively into Dota. Like, not super competitive, like, hey, what about this thing? They're like, that's broken. Your idea is bad. It's bad. Yeah. And it's like, I'm just trying to come up with fun concepts, and they're always like, no. Yeah. Terrible. And it's like, but just, like, think about, like, just ignore that it's overpowered. Just, like, the fun concept. Like, you could try balancing it. Yeah. But just, like, the initial concept of this hero, I'm like, no, it's a terrible idea. It completely ruined the way the game runs. Yeah. Like, it just breaks the system that's already established in the game.
Beefy Smash Dudes. Yeah. Yes. So, I think they're, if you like Smash, though, they're good. And even if you don't like Smash, they've got some fun videos for sure. They do some modded Smash, and I don't know. They seem like cool guys. But they're probably called Magnus in real life. They're Norwegian.
Yeah, they're all Magnus.
Yeah. But Actually, 2 of them might be brothers. I'm not sure.
So they're both named Magnus.
Yeah. Anyways, they're good. But they did a video. Well, I don't know. At some point, I just watched them recently, but I think it was like in the last couple months, where it was like, if Smash is growing a bit stale and you're getting a bit bored of it, here's some new things you can do to spice up Smash to give it that like that rekindle the love you once had for it sort of thing, or like bring back that nostalgic new game feeling. So they had a bunch of game modes that were kind of interesting, like play random characters.
Okay.
But then they actually had a system where you then use their ranking and that gives you points.
Okay.
So like if you play as Bayonetta and your opponent plays as Little Mac and you win as Bayonetta, you'll only get like 10 points. But if Little Mac wins, he'll get like 100 points. And if you both played as someone in the middle, you get 50 points each.
Okay.
So you get 50 points plus or minus the difference between your scores. So it actually looked kind of interesting. And then you do like 10 matches or something, and so that looked kind of interesting. But and they had another one like the Smash Bros board game. You all start on Mario, and then if you win by 2 stock, you move 2 down, and then you play as Princess Peach or whatever. And we played that. Okay. So they had all these game modes. They look kind of fun. But the part that I found kind of disturbing about it was to keep Smash Bros fresh now that you're bored of it. Yeah. Because
they play that game a lot, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, they've played a lot. And it's not that people got bored of Smash Bros. Impossible! No, it's that people
need that freshness. They can't be content with things. They just always need more. Their expansion will never end. They will devour all.
No, okay, so I'll do the second example and get to my point, I guess. So the second guy, I don't know who he was.
Okay. Irrelevant Mick Irrelevixon?
I don't know. He seemed kind of cool. He's like he was called the Gaming Architect or something. And he looks at game design and stuff. Yeah. And it's so he said how to avoid grinding in games. Yeah. And so like, from game design perspective. And so he said, any game can be looked at as if there's grinding in it based on your perspective. Like XCOM, all you do is move and shoot. Same thing over and over again. Every battle's the same. It's like 4 soldiers versus however many aliens. Very grindy and repetitive. And then like Pokemon, very grindy, and Pokemon is grindy even without that. And so he said, what's the definition of grindy then? Definition of grindy is not that the game's like even, it's really slow to advance, because then you'll just stop playing. So when people say, oh man, this game's so grindy, it's because they are doing something they don't like with the expectation that in the future there will be something better will happen. So that was his definition of grinding, which I thought was pretty good. So he says to avoid that in games, you make them like have action sort of in them. Like you have maybe like a good music to keep you going. You have like this variety. You have like random variety maybe. You have so he had all these suggestions. So the thing that got to me in both of those was it sounded like these people were getting bored of games, but games had been their method of fun for so long that they didn't know how to have fun elsewhere, so they were trying to make games interesting. So there's this concept in everything, drugs, dieting, especially prevalent in dieting and drugs.
Really?
Yeah. But also in like dating, that's sort of related to drugs, I guess. And
dating is drugs, Cameron, 2018.
Well, pretty much
dating is drugs.
It's pretty much a legal way to do heroin. Like it's
sad that you can't do heroin legally. Go on a date, and you can have all the heroin you need.
Yeah, because okay, I have never taken heroin, so I could be wrong, but I have heard that what heroin does is it makes you feel accepted and like happy and warm. Like it's the greatest feeling ever, because it's like you feel like your purpose has been fulfilled. Like people care about you and stuff. Like warm, happy feelings. But if you go on a date, you can get the same feeling, right? Because then someone cares about you. I mean, if it's a bad date, maybe not. But so
I've never felt either.
So. And also, grapefruit prevents the reuptake of serotonin or something.
Can you take if you take your date to a grapefruit stand, will it be like an awesome date?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking.
Should you like force feed your date grapefruit?
You should sneak it into everything. Except, okay, I have a friend that... Okay, actually, grapefruit, there is actually, not just my friend, there's a lot of people out there who actually can't eat grapefruit because of the reason that it prevents drug reuptake. So you can actually cause people to overdose if you snuck some grapefruits. So don't do that.
Yeah, don't sneak people around with things.
Yeah, well, not grapefruit anyways.
But dating is
like
drugs.
Salt is pretty harmless.
Yeah, dating is just made of two very poisonous compounds.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, dating is basically cheap drugs. Yeah. So we're well, it depends on how...
Yeah, it depends on the date.
Yeah, and the drugs.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, where was I going?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, right. So there's this concept in dating, drugs, dieting called chasing the high, or the first high or something. So, and also people who take, it's called cryotherapy. So there's people that have chronic pain. They freeze their bodies solid, and then they feel great. Well, not exactly. It's you get stuck in like a minus 60 degrees chamber, or maybe colder. Maybe it's like minus 100 and something. And people go out and they feel great. And they're like, whoa, I have so much energy and stuff.
People do that on purpose?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they don't
Why?
Well, because not everyone lives in a place where you can just walk outside.
You can just like open the door
Yeah.
and get hit by minus 70 whenever you want.
Well, not minus 70. That would be ridiculous. That's like Chicken Alaska levels once.
I'm overplaying.
Yeah. No, it's like... I think the coldest it regular gets here is like minus 45, and coldest I've ever seen is like minus 52.
Yeah. Yeah, still, that's cold.
It's cold, but it's not like...
You don't feel great if you walk outside at minus 52. You stay inside.
But it's got like... It looks like an Apple product, their futuristic cryo chamber or something, so, you know, so you feel better. Because it's like buying an iPhone.
Okay.
But cheaper, probably.
Right, so you get the first amazing...
Yeah, so you feel great and energetic. So people do this with chronic pain or just sometimes low energy. Mm-hmm. They feel, or like foggy head, and they feel great. Their head feels clear. Everything. It's like, I don't want to sound like a hippie. Yeah. Anyways, they feel great.
No, sound like a hippie.
Well, it's like when you go off wheat for a week and then you wake up and you don't feel tired in the morning anymore.
Going off wheat, hey?
Well, that was for me. That's because I have a problem. I'm not sure most people are fine.
You should go off wheat.
No, you should eat all the wheat.
Go off wheat, Cameron, 2018.
Eat all the wheat. Eat so much wheat you explode.
Dating is heroin.
Yeah, eat wheat. Dating is heroin.
Heroin is wheat. If you do if you get yourself off heroin for a week, you feel great.
No, you have to eat poppy seed bagels. So it's not the seed, or what is it? Something about poppy seed bagels won't actually get... it's wrong. It's like the stem that the opium comes from.
It's the bulb.
Oh, the bulb. Okay, not the seeds.
You have to carefully cut open the poppy seed bulb with a rounded knife and only break the skin. Yeah. And then you have to slowly squeeze it out into a thing. And you can't kill the poppy. You have to make it sure the wound heals up, because poppies take like a 4-year cycle to get to the point where they can have a bulb. So you have to make sure poppies keep living, and you slowly get it out, and then you have to refine it through a heating process.
Who discovered that? They must have eaten a poppy and been like, I wonder if I could make that more concentrated.
Yeah, no, it's a very delicate procedure to make opium.
Right. Yes, so... but when further... And also acupuncture. That's another thing. Chinese medicine, a lot of them. So acupuncture, maybe the cupping, I'm not sure. Those sort of things. People will go to like an acupuncture session. They'll feel great. Reiki, they'll feel amazing. They'll go to they'll go for a run. Actually, running is a bit different. But all these things, they feel great. They take heroin, cocaine. Woo! It feels amazing. Yeah. You feel good. And the side effects aren't even that bad. First time. Sometimes. Some people can overdose first time. But I mean, no, it's bad. It's bad. It's terrible.
Yeah, you should only go on one date. Otherwise, the consequences are terrible. You might get married or have children.
Yeah. Look, you're not idiots listening to this. You know drugs are good or bad. You did the research. I don't know anything about drugs. Yes. So all drugs are fine. You can make your own decisions.
Just use them responsibly.
And legally, because we don't want to get arrested by the government.
Yeah, for encouraging drug use.
Yeah, except marijuana. Not yet, though.
Not yet.
Soon.
And only in Canada.
Maybe by the time this thing comes out. It's supposed to be this month.
Yeah, the end of this month.
Oh, I thought it was the middle.
No, it's the end.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
It's so people. It's like right at the very end, so you have time to give people marijuana. No.
Right. Anyways. So I think video games might be similar. Like when I played first video game.
Here's My Magic.
Yeah, Here's My Magic 2 probably. My mind was blown. I was like, this is... Oh, no, okay. Actually, Here's My Magic, really fun. The game that blew my mind was Age of Empires.
Okay.
Yes, because I was playing, and I was playing for ages. And then my spearman upgraded into a halberd who looked different. And I was like, he just upgraded! And I on the ride home from the computer camp. Yes. Okay. Anyways, on the ride home. You good?
Okay, I'm good.
All right. So on the ride home, from computer camp with my mom, I was like, this game's amazing. I got like these guys. I built this thing. I can cut down trees, and now there's like space, and I'm gonna upgrade the militia into swordsmen next. And it blew my mind. It was amazing.
Yeah. And she was probably going, "Yep." Yep.
I got my
becoming a savage violent.
This is the only game I think that I ever got a parent to buy for me. I got my dad to buy me this game. He got it secondhand for me from
someone.
Yeah, EB Games maybe? Were they around back then? I don't know. I think they were.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, he got the game, and I mean they were around back then, but like here, and yeah, so got the game for me, and my friend Chris loved it too, and I phoned him up on the phone, and I was reading the manual while he was reading the manual. I was like, Augners, you can upgrade Augners, and I was reading this manual, and then I just played the game for ages without installing the expansion because I just want. No, because I wanted the pure game experience. Played it for ages, and then it's like, oh man, and then I installed the expansion and read the expansion manual, and it was like, the AI works so the villagers aren't idiots anymore, which was amazing. They wouldn't like lock themselves outside the town. They'd automatically do a job if you told them to build a building for that job. And, and then it's like, there's more upgrades. There's these things called winged hussars. What on earth are they? They look like weird turkey knights, and
they looked awesome.
They were so weird. They're super fast. There's like suddenly there's Aztecs and Eagle Warriors and Jaguar Knights, and they have Mahutls. And I was like, Mahutl. It says Mahutl. What's Mahutl? That's so cool. It's probably not pronounced Austrian like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mahutl. I got the Mahutl.
We had Mamelukes that threw swords.
Yeah, those were in the original, I think.
No, they weren't.
Anyways, Conquistadors, Age of Conquerors expansion, amazing. And I was like, whoa. And then when I played Diablo 2, read that manual. Pokemon, manuals, all these games are amazing. It's like gaming is the most amazing thing in the world. I want to be a video game when I grow up. And then Here's My Magic as well. I think Here's My Magic 2 is almost a perfect game. Like everything you do, the music, it's like amazing. You press something, it has a sound that fits it perfectly. The walking, like the animations, like
yep.
You fight the spells. Like it's just the sound design, the art, it just feels. The factions are all so well balanced. The combat, they're not. I mean, like they're all like unique.
Yeah,
like they're so
their
different.
own feel.
Yeah, they all feel different. And the thing is, you don't have to balance the factions in that game. People talk about this, but you don't exactly have to because you can conquer other buildings.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually have to be like balanced exactly. I mean, it helps because then you can get a head start. But but everything feels different. There's level ups, upgrades. The fighting is really clean feeling.
Yeah.
Like I think Here's My Magic 7. They tried to make it more tactical, and it just feels slow and like. Yeah. And number 5 and 6 did that as well. And I don't like the fighting in 5 as much as number 2. I think 2 has the best fighting still. Yeah. Number 4's fighting
is
weird. But I actually like number 4 better than 5, 6, or 7.
Number 3 is just
okay. Cool. So number, anyways, number 2, almost a perfect game. Here's My Magic 3, I think is a perfect game.
There we go. Yep.
The only thing I like better about number 2 is the art.
Yes. The
artwork in number 2 is incredible. Artwork in number 3 is like one of the best games I've ever seen. Yeah. But number 2 is even better.
Yeah. But they're both very good games. But you wanted to be a video game when you grew up.
Yeah. So all these games just amazing, and so I think other people
I still want to be a video game.
other people have these experiences, right, where you play these games, and you're like, wow, games are amazing. It's like, and then Smash Bros. When I played it, Melee when I played it, I'd go over to a friend's house and play it, and be like, this game's you can beat Mario and fight some Pokemon, and it's just amazing. Yeah, and like on it, I just have fun memories. Play that game for like hour, and it was just incredible. Amazing. Game's amazing. And you keep playing games as you get older. Yeah. And the thing about humans is we're amazing at finding patterns. Like computers, you think they're good? They're nothing. Humans can get bored so quickly. It's incredible.
Yeah. Unless there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. So, and we get used to things. That's why heroin, they take heroin and then suddenly they need way more heroin to feel the same experience. People that go to cryotherapy again, the next experience isn't the same. They don't feel as good. They don't... Like, they feel all right, but it's not like, I feel energetic and stuff, so they do more and more cryotherapy more often. Like, they did it once. It's like chiropractor, even. You go to a chiropractor, you feel great, and then you go, like, a month, like, you haven't gone in your entire life. Then you go, like, a year later, and you feel great again. And then you go a month later, and feel great again. And then a week, and a week. And every day you have to go to chiropractor to get that same high. And then that's not enough. And then you just never feel the same. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, you're, like, cracking your knuckles in this alleyway, just... begging people to punch you in the face and crack
going
your
on
nose
dates all the time just to get that same
going
high.
On dates, eating wheat, all the bad stuff.
Yep, doing heroin wheat.
Flying to Canada.
Yeah.
Doing the marijuanas, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just, it's... So, anyways, the experience fades, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's what people are doing with video games, is they're chasing the old high by trying to mix up the game and make it feel like fresh and original. And I think in reality they're done with it and they're lying to themselves. They're trying to feel the nostalgia that's over. Like you're never going to feel as happy as you did when you were younger playing that game.
Ouch.
Like you're just not. Like I don't say that as in old people are sad, because I think your life is sort of shaped like probably like x to the x. Let's say like
use
x
it in English
plus x minus 10 to the power of 3 kind of thing. So it's sort of like a third degree polynomial shifted over to the graph. So it keeps getting better, and then it gets worse until you're in like 25 or 20 or something, depending on it depends on how you do your life, and then it gets better again, because what happens is life is you get more and more stuff, so your life gets better and better, and then you get more and more difficulties in your life, so it gets worse, and then you get better and better at handling them, and you get more and more tools to handle them, and you get more and more resources, so it gets better and better and better. So actually I saw a graph where it actually showed this, but it wasn't like that at all. It was like a curve. You're like I don't remember how it went. People in their 40s were their happiest or least happy. I can't remember. But
it's all downhill from 23, Cameron.
Well, I think it's been getting better, honestly.
It's all downhill from 12.
I think like 20 was 21, 20. I think 20 was like my worst age, and 21 wasn't that great. And 22 was a bit better, and 23 has been a lot better. I think I'm like as good as like when I was like 16 now. So I've made it back up to 16. And
sweet 16.
Yeah.
Growing up so fast.
And I think like when I was 12 was probably my happiest. So once I get... And I think I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to surpass that.
I think 4 was my happiest. It's all been downhill since I was 4 years old.
I have to walk places.
Yep. Life was good when I was getting carried. Need to become a sultan.
So anyway, I've seen this disturbing trend anyways of people becoming disillusioned because they realize that they don't love their games as much, and instead they're just looking for ways for them to be less grindy and like to revive the love.
They're looking at different ways of doing their drug. Instead of injecting in their arm, they maybe start injecting in their eyes.
Yeah. They're trying to mainline it. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like there's I don't know if this is a... I don't know if
tie up the circulation, let it build up in your veins first, then release it through your system.
Like, do you... I don't know, you seem to... Like, I think this is relevant to me almost. Like, I've been getting bored of video games. I don't like video games anymore. I'm done with video games, you know? I mean, not entirely, but, like... So what I've just started doing, again, is irrelevant. But I just thought it's kind of this is my takeaway thought. If you have to do something to make the activity that's supposed to be fun more fun, maybe instead try doing something else. Which is the lesson I try to take away for myself as well. Because if it's like you're not having, like, it's okay, but you need to work to get more fun, and you're like, I don't know. But I think, like, you should just, I don't know. See, that's the problem. If you play too many video games, what do you do instead? Here you go, like, what else is in life? I could go for a walk, but that doesn't take that long.
And I don't get any progression. I don't level up from walking.
Well, you get stronger and healthier.
But you can't see the graphs.
Well, that's the other thing. Video games, they're almost, like, funner than real life. Like, you feel more progress, like, because you have in you motivators that are, like, progress is good sort of thing, right? And then, so you feel, like, when you overcome a task, like, when you finally clean...
I think you've said this before.
Clean the grout out of your bathtub, you're like, I feel good, right? Yeah. And I think that's why Dark Souls is actually one of the most popular video games out there, because it's kind of like Malazan Book of the Fallen. The people that beat it...
The people that read Malazan Book of the Fallen are people who would try to beat Dark Souls.
The people that beat it, either... Malazan Book of the Fallen or Dark Souls.
If you don't like reading, but you like Dark Souls, try reading Malazan Book of the Fallen. You'll get the same feeling out of it.
You consider it's the best game or book ever because you've... Well, I think Malazan Book of the Fallen is just really well written. But I think there's also... And I think Dark Souls is probably a really well-made game. But I think there's also the...
Stockholm Syndrome.
No.
Yes.
I think there's the aspect where you have earned something.
Yeah.
Which...
You haven't.
Well, I think... I don't know. I think Dark Souls is hard. Like, I think a lot of games, like, let's say Dota, very popular because you level up to level something. 30? 10?
25.
25? Okay. Like, every game, You're like...
That's not a part of Dota.
But in half an hour, you're getting, like... Or,
No, Dota is totally about the teamwork. Dota's a teamwork game.
Okay. So,
but if you're not playing with teamwork in mind, then I don't know what you're doing.
Have you seen... It's called League of Angels or something. It's an MMO where you can get to the top level in 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like, you can get to, like, level 120 in 6 hours or something. And Warcraft has gone that direction now, too.
Yeah.
So, it just makes it, like, in life, you're like, I finally finished that book. It only took me, like, 8 months. And you're like, whoa! You finally did it, so you get the payoff. But these games, you get the payoff faster, so they're better than real life. So I think Dark Souls, though, is hard enough and long enough, and same with Malazan Book of the Fallen, that you actually learn lessons of patience and sticking to it. So I think there's actually value in them. I've heard a lot of people with depression that really like Dark Souls say it helped them through their depression because they fought unbeatable odds until they won.
Yeah. And they fought demons and horrible monsters of darkness and despair, and they won.
Yeah, so then they're able to do it in the game.
Life. Yeah.
No. Yeah, that one.
they can do it in life.
I defeated depression, so I can beat Dark Souls.
Maybe. No, why would you play Dark Souls if you're...
So, but I've heard, or people that just, they're looking for guidance in life, and so they play Dark Souls, and all of a sudden they learn, you just beat your head against the wall enough, and that wall will break.
You are listening to The Fool and the Philosopher.
I think it's a bit of both of us. How much we speak as if we know all the stuff. We're like, oh yeah, this thing, depression's caused by this, or like this thing, yeah, it's like this and this and this. I'm pretty sure we have very...
What do you mean?
I don't have a... This is hearsay?
I'm a third-year psychology student.
Okay.
I know this stuff.
I just do stuff off what I've heard.
Well, I mean, I dropped out because it was too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, maybe psychology should be Dark Souls.
Yeah. No, psychology's not hard. I'd recommend it for... I think everyone should take psychology, actually.
Yeah. I think everyone should read Malazan Book of the Fallen and play Dark Souls.
I don't know about the Dark Souls one. Malazan, I could say yes. I also think that everyone should take math. They say math is useless. But, okay, so our teacher... can we say teacher names?
Nah.
How about yes?
No.
Okay. Well, anyways, our 7th grade teacher, we had the same one.
Yeah.
Posted on Facebook recently You know, in school they never taught me how to do taxes, how to do write a letter, how to tell someone you love them. You know, that list. You can watch Boy in the Band's video, Don't Stay in School. You get the same message.
Yeah.
And he said, but I know the Pythagorean theorem, which also said, I think this post might have been a ripoff of Boy in the Band. But anyways, like, if you want to fell a tree, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know, and you have to, the only direction you can fall is towards your house.
Yeah.
And you're not sure how tall that tree is. Pythagorean theorem can tell you how tall that tree is.
Yes.
So, I'm staring at you, the camera, which is not part of this at all, but yeah, Pythagorean theorem is useful. But also, I hear people, okay, so I saw this talk, really smart people, Jordan Peterson, that rabbit from Looney Tunes, Yaron Brook is his name.
So Kermit the Frog, and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, and Eric Weinstein, and some other guy.
Okay.
And he was like a sociology or philosophy professor or something.
Okay.
I think he's a double, like, sociology and philosophy professor.
So it's too useless to...
I think they're both...
Oh!
I think sociology will become the most important field out there in like 100 years. Honestly. Because I think you could run a government with it once it gets good enough.
Yeah.
But because then you can be like, what is good for society? Right now, I hate it. I don't like it. But I'm glad there's people working on it. I took one class and it was so bleh. I didn't like it. I don't know why I didn't like it, because whenever I talked about my feelings, he said I didn't use enough facts. Whenever I talked about facts, he said I didn't use enough of my feelings, and I didn't know what to do.
I just factually use your feelings. I feel that 20% of people are idiots.
According to the Canadian the Statistics of Canada, I feel that 20% of people
are idiots.
Yeah. But, so anyways.
That's how you do it. You have to say, I feel statistics.
All four very intelligent people, totally different viewpoints, like fundamental viewpoints.
Yeah.
Like, they saw the basic building blocks of the world completely differently.
Yeah.
Having this very intellectual discussion. And they talk about infinity at one point. And they were all wrong!
Because they didn't know math.
And I wish that... I think everyone should be required to take at least first year calculus. Because it was really annoying. Because they were like... it's that stupid... Like, well, if it's... I don't know. I don't even remember. It was just like, if it's infinite, it contains everything or something. And
nope, it doesn't.
Or like... There's infinite possibilities, therefore there cannot be more. And it's like, you can have bigger infinities and smaller infinities, and you can have sets are incomplete, and it was it was all wrong. And it was like an important point to their discussion too, so it kind of bothered me that they're like, yes, infinity is like this. Yes. So, well, prove it mathematically, philosopher. Yeah, I think so.
Well, philosophers used to use a lot of mathematics,
and
it drove them insane. Like the rat trying to shoot a tortoise with an arrow. You can't shoot a tortoise with an arrow. The arrow will never reach the tortoise.
Well, there's no.
Tortoises are invincible, Cameron. You can't hurt tortoises. No weapon ever swung at a tortoise will hit it.
No, because there's actually a mathematical way around that.
I know, but I say they didn't have it then.
Yeah, but they eventually did. See, if you hadn't done mathematics, you could have never figured out Zeno's paradox. But now you can. But what's that guy's name? Bertrand Russell, I think his name was. He was a maybe, or something else. But he was a philosopher and mathematician, which is the best combination, I think. I don't think philosophers should be allowed to be philosophers unless they know math, because math is so important to philosophy.
I don't know.
I think
one of the maybe it was Bertrand Russell who wrote this. Is a guy in my philosophy class.
Yeah.
One of the papers we read, this guy was arguing against, was it the thing where it's like the most people happiness is most important?
Yeah, utilitarianism?
Yeah, utilitarianism.
Yeah.
And he was using math
to
argue. He's like, alright, so we have X and Y, and this is this much happiness, this is this much happiness, and then we add these things together, we add in these factors, like convert it down all into algebra.
Yeah.
And then he also had like, alright, so if we make these things into the axes of a triangle, then we can create a complete triangle by the percentages within them. And it's like, what the heck are you talking about?
If I recall what you're talking about, he was just giving an example. He didn't actually have a proof. He was saying, like, it should be possible to figure out this stuff. But he didn't actually have a proof because it's very complicated.
No, he was refuting it.
Oh, he was refuting the idea.
Yeah, no, he was using someone else's proof with math. He was refuting that math thing, where he did even more math and went farther and saying, yeah, this stuff actually doesn't.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say there's a problem where you can have. I don't know how you.
But he was a mathematician philosopher.
Like, I'm not this mathematician, right? But so I'm not sure how you'd represent this, but it's possible. For, let's say you have 3x and 7y, okay? And let's say 7y is bigger. It's possible for you to have, like, infinite x and 1y, and y to still be bigger, but 2y is bigger than 1y. So, like, it's not, it's like a hierarchy of values almost. So I don't know if that's mathematical, but you can basically say that sometimes something isn't equivalent. Like take Rimworld, for example. When they don't... so you could... I think Rimworld would actually benefit from this almost. So when you eat raw food, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that should go into the same mood counter as your spouse dying. I think that should be on like the really severe things. So you'd have it like... raw food is like one level, and then sleep too hot or too cold could be a higher level possible, because that's worse. And then you could have spouse dying as another level. And then at the highest level, you have like eaten without a table or something.
Yes.
There's actually an immersion mod now that makes the penalty for eating without a table minus 25 happiness or something, which is the worst which is the worst in the game. But
Or he is.
it's minus 5, I think. But
every single day.
Yeah. Well, you can bail them at a table.
You do, and they don't eat at it.
Yeah.
You have to have like right next to their food storage, and then they even still don't eat at it.
Yeah.
Stupid little colonists. That's good for them.
I had one. He got paranoid delusions, and he started saying people are controlling us. They eat us and laugh. They make us eat each other and laugh, and they watch us fight for sport. They're telling us what to do, and this. That we were just pawns in that game.
Did you kill him?
No.
You should have killed him.
But I was like... And I started laughing, actually, and then he's like, I laugh at our misery! And okay. It's creepy. But, so I think what they should I don't know how you'd implement that exactly, though, because then you'd say, like, alright, the tier 1 sadness is maxed out, so no amount of the lower tiers will fix it. Because I don't think eating a really good meal should make you feel better about your spouse dying. Like, I think it can make you happier in some senses, but I think, like, you should also use Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yeah.
So that's why tables are so important.
Yeah, because they're, like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's first you need food, shelter, and water, and air. And then you need love.
Yeah, a table can be food. It has food on it, it's shelter.
No, Connor, and then it's and then it's love, and then it's self-actualization. And then it's tables at the top of the pyramid.
Okay.
Eating off a table. Because...
Alright. I have a quick question for you.
Yeah?
How long do you think it takes for someone's degree to become useless? If they're not in a relevant field to it. Like, let's say... Because I've noticed, like, a lot of my friends here in college, like, once they've got into an degree, are like, oh, yes, this thing, and oh, this study proves this.
Yeah.
And they talk about stuff as if they know things.
Yeah.
But then you speak to a 30-year-old,
yeah,
and they sort of know things. Then you speak to a 40-year-old, and like, I don't know.
I'm going to guess, like, 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Alright, because it's like someone you're like, oh yes, if we apply all this physics stuff to it, then we can figure it out. If that person's not a physics field later in their life...
I think they will relearn it a lot faster, though. I had a friend with a psychology degrry I was in a psychology class with her, and it was second year, and she didn't remember any of the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, because she was from Ireland, and then she moved here, and she was retaking psychology so that she could get a green card. Because she's like, all right, I'm going to go to school so I can just stay in the country, and I'll take a course I already have a degree in, so it's not hard. But I knew more of the stuff than her, because she hadn't done it for, like, a year or two.
Yeah.
So it was kind of...
I'm just, like, no. I feel like educated people, in a way, can be really boring.
I don't think so. I think boring people can be boring.
Yeah, but...
It's just a lot of boring people are a lot of educated people are boring.
Yeah, well, it's... They talk about their field. And you only understand them if you know that field. Where someone who doesn't have that field, they can just talk about stuff.
Well, I think that you can talk about your field and be understood if you're good at talking about it. Like someone like Stephen Hawking, Richard Dawkins, Albert Einstein, they all made their subject interesting. Like,
I dated my cousin. I married my cousin. Physics is good.
yeah.
Then I divorced her. I married my sister.
Einstein didn't do that.
He did marry his cousin.
Yeah, he didn't divorce his sister. I mean, marry his sister, yeah.
No, he just had the affair with her.
What? No, come on, don't slander Einstein.
I'm not. He's a ladies' man.
But, no. Einstein was...
Cameron is all relative.
Well, they're all relatives. Yeah.
Don't you know his theory of relativity?
Yeah. It's interesting how he came up with that. He imagined a man falling off a roof. And he's like, how would the man falling off a roof know if he was falling or not? Yeah. That's The Fool and the Philosopher.
Yeah. Thank you for
Listening. Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. And if you want to leave a comment in PSI's videos, why not leave one here instead of his... Actually, okay, you know what'd be cool, actually? If people... No, that'd be weird. I was going to say if people made all their music video comments in our comments, and then put all our comments in random music video comments, and then...
Nothing would make sense.
I like this song. Darude Sandstorm.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted... I hadn't said the PSI thing this episode, so I had to throw it in.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
Bye.